Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian's Sudoku puzzle. It's Sunday the 20th of November. Ooh, we're well deep into November, I've just noticed. 2022 still. And this is the Observer puzzle since it's a Sunday here. It's a Sunday everywhere actually. Well, no, I take that back. Of course, it's not a Sunday everywhere. Some places it's still Saturday, but it's Sunday morning here in Thailand. And I'm going to attempt the Sudoku puzzle from the Observer, which has no preordained level, or rather they haven't told us what that is. And so I need you to send me your thoughts. Now please telepathically move forward or backward in time. I can't even work it out. Backward in time with your thoughts, and based on the thumbnail that I gave you, let me know what level it is. Right, okay. Oh, got it. Okay, thank you very much. Right. Otherwise, I would not have any idea if this is an easy, medium, or hard level game. Of course, as I say, they don't deign to tell us. Excuse me. Some possible good news on the horizon. It seems that richer countries might be willing finally to help out poorer countries in terms of financial assistance when it comes to climate, disasters, really, climate change, that's the things that are going to be necessary to mitigate climate change. This is essential, of course, but up until now, richer countries have been unwilling to give any cash. Let's see if they are actually willing to go through with it. The reports coming from COP27 are that they might be. The other item of interesting news reported in the Observer today is that Keir Starmer is considering abolishing, or has promised to, I think, actually abolish the House of Lords in the UK. Yes, the unelected group of peers who managed to buy their way, if they're rich enough, onto the list. Some horrific choices for peers over the years. From both sides, Tories and Labour, especially I'm thinking about Blair's choices, etc. So, money and corruption involved in that part. So, and replace it with an elected House, a second chamber, which would seem to be more democratic, wouldn't it? And obviously a better idea. But I do question his timing. Right now, the Labour Party really needs to be focused on pointing out the fact that the National Health Service is being underfunded by hugely, and kind of, the Tories are looking to privatise it, and that's the most important thing. That's what people care about. Right now, the House of Lords is an irrelevancy, I think. In the long term, yes, but I mean, his timing is off as it usually is, I think, really. Not that his sentiment is wrong or that his idea is wrong, but, let's prioritize what's really urgent for people right now. Let's be talking about that. He should be out there every day campaigning on the National Health Service, which is a much loved service in the UK. And when you see the cost of healthcare in other countries, like, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know where I'm talking about, across the pond, of course. And the kind of ridiculous things that are being done in the US in terms of health. People want that National Health Service. They really do in the UK. It's an essential part of life. So anyway, that's what he should be doing. But anyway, for the long term, it's not bad news. I mean, for the long term. Right, let's get on with this game. Now, I have no idea, because your telepathic signals back in time didn't quite work, so I still don't know if it's easy, medium, or hard level. So just in case it turns out to be an easy level, I shall very quickly let you know the rules of Sudoku, and that is that each row must contain the numbers 1 to 9. Well, I see some numbers, you say, but there are some blank spaces. Hey, guess what? It's a game, of course. So your job is to fill in the empty spaces with the missing numbers. Guess what? We do exactly the same thing for these columns down here. You can see there are quite a few numbers already placed in this column, whereas this column here has no numbers placed yet. So there's a lot of hard work to be done over there. But is that enough? No. We also have these blocks. Now you can see, look, there are a couple of numbers filled in this block here, a 6 and a 2, whereas this block over here already has Oh, excuse me, hit the wrong key. Whereas this block here has 5 numbers already placed. Right. That's it. So we use logic. We don't need mathematics. We don't need guessing. What we do is we say, hey, look in this block down here. It doesn't yet have a digit 1. We have 1 blocking down here and blocking down here. When I say blocking, what I mean is restricting those cells or squares from ever becoming a digit 1. And therefore, 3 and a 7 are already here, and therefore 1 must be in this square. It's the only possibility. No other possibility exists. What else do we know? In this column here, there is no digit 1. Now let's see. We've got a 1 in this block already. So immediately these 3 squares, because everything in this block, I don't need to click that, cannot become a 1 because we have 1 already. But in particular, I want to focus on these squares here, right? So these 3 squares cannot become 1. This 1 blocks this square, this 1 blocks this square, and this 1 blocks this square. That leaves just 1 empty square up here, and that's where the 1 must go. Got the idea now? Okay, shall we begin in earnest? Right, I can see 6 blocking across here and down here, so that's going to put a 6 into this block here. My eyes are not properly focusing yet. It's still early in the morning here. I'm awake early for some reason, or no reason really, but I just happen to be awake early. Oh, I wonder if this is going to turn out to be a tougher game. Don't see too many easy things on the table just yet. Or what I can see, I shall explore with you. Isn't it fun to go exploring? I see 4 and 8. Oh yeah, I see the 4 and 8 across these 2 squares, actually, which means 4 and 8 must be in these 2 squares here, right? Now, we actually can block the 4 up here, so in fact this is the 4 and this is the 8. Now 8 blocking down here means 8 is going to be in one of these 2 squares. Let's say if 8 appears either here or here, it doesn't matter. What we know is that it can't appear in either of these 2 squares here, and this 8 blocks here, and so 8 will appear in that square there, and the last number here will be 2. And yes, I know there is another way to see exactly the same information, and that's fine. And missing number here is a 9. If you are new to Sudoku, you might be surprised to learn that there are sometimes different ways to see exactly the same thing. Right, now up in this block here, we have the 2 here and the 3 here blocking up here, so that's going to give us a 2 and a 3 in these 2 squares only. Only 2 and 3 can exist in these 2 squares because they block these 2 squares, right? Okay, so now that we know that this is 2 and 3, we can work out the missing number down here. It has to be a 5 because we have everything else if we know that that is 2 or 3. So this is our 5. And that's going to give us in these squares 8 and 9. But we don't have any information across here to tell us which is which just yet, but we'll keep that in mind. And now up here we know that this 2 and 3 is here, so this has to be 4 and 5. Again, over here we don't have enough information to tell us which is which. So we should just have to move along slowly. It might be useful to click on the numbers in series just to give myself an idea of what's going on here. Try to see the grid a bit better. We had a lot of hard games yesterday, very enjoyable games yesterday, but quite tough. Could do with an easy one. Of course, Monday is always easy level in the Guardian, but I could do with an easier one today as well, I think. Here we go. 5's blocking down here, and 5 blocking down here, and 5 across here. Puts a 5 into that square, and now the 5 blocking across this row and this row puts a 5 here. What does it mean? Well, 5 blocks up here and 5 blocks across here. So 5 is in one of these two squares. When we extend across here like this, and this 5 extending across here like this, we know that that's a 5. Now, if you remember, this was 2 and 3, wasn't it? So this has to be a 4. Or you could just say we have 4 blocking up there. As I say, you often find multiple ways to get the same information. And how you find it is not important as long as you use logic and don't guess. We have 5's blocking across these two rows and 1 up here, so that will be our 5 there. And now we have 5's blocking up here like this and across here, putting a 5 there. And that was the final 5. Now, this is interesting. We have 8 blocking down here and 8 blocking down here. So that means we have 8s in these squares here. So over here, we are only looking for an 8 in the bottom row. So okay. Actually, it's not quite as interesting as I thought. I thought I'd discovered something perfect, but no. Anyway, but that is true what I said. 8 will appear in the bottom row here. So yes, actually, like that. So we've got 8s like this because we've got the 8 blocking across over here like this. And so this is the only place now where an 8 can appear in this column. It must be somewhere in the bottom row. It can't be in these 3 squares, and we got 8 blocking here. So it was as I thought first of all, but then I doubted my own logic for a second. Had to replay it in my head. Right, now we have 7 blocking across here like this, and so 7 must go in that empty square up here, and then down here we'll place a 3 to finish the column. What was I going to do before? Oh yeah, I know what I was kind of doing. That was looking one by one, which I made a start with. I'm not sure I need to do that again. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go through the digits one by one and see what's possible. So now we have the 2 across here and the 2 across here and the 2 down here. So that puts a 2 into that square there. And then we have 2 blocking this square and 2 blocking this square. So in this row, that's where the 2 must appear. What's happening with... Well, oh, let's see what's missing here first of all. That might be a good idea. We are missing 3 and 4 here, I guess. Okay, right, on to the 3s. I think we can do something with the 6s. 6 blocks across here like this, and 6 blocks up here like this. So 6 is in either this square or this square, which will block up to the top there, and 6 blocking up here, and the 6 across here means that we can place a 6 there. We have 9 across here and 9 across here, so 9 fits snugly into that slot. I'm just gonna see what's happening over here. We have 9s across here and 9 across here. Ah, yeah, and 9 down there. So we can get ourselves a 9 there. Okay. Going forwards at not a particularly rapid pace, but a reasonable speed, I think. It's probably worthwhile looking again at what's possible. Yeah, okay, 1 up, 1 down here. So now we can place the 1 there, whereas we couldn't before. Now we know the 2 blocking up here and 2 across here puts a 2 into that square, and then the 2 blocking across here puts a 2 up here. And now we can place our 3 there. Let's go back on these 2. Oh, 2 is actually, that was the last 2. That's good. Can we kill off the 3s yet? Yeah, we can certainly go forward because we've got 3s blocking like this. So this column here needs a 3 there, and that of course will be the 4. Let's put that in because I said 3, 4. And this then will be a 7 here. Now let's have a look at those 3s and see if there's anything else I can do in the meantime. Maybe not. How about the 4s now? Well, we have 4 across here and down here. So there's our 4. I rather like this game. It's one that leads you forward in a specific way. Sometimes it's not so much about the level of the game, it's the way that the game progresses and unfolds. And I rather like the way this one is unfolding. 8 blocks across here. It's kind of taking you in a forced direction, something like that. 9 is the missing digit here. For this row now, we just need to see a 7. And this 7 blocking up here and 7 across here, there's our 7. And 6 blocking down here, so that puts a 6 into that square, and 3 will be our last number here. 3 blocking down here, here is our 3, and 9 finishes this block, or this column, whichever way you look at it. So we have just one empty square here, and that should be noisy. Should be filled with a 6, I believe. Now 6 blocking up here and 6 across here puts a 6 into that square. The last number to get here is an 8. 8 blocking down here, 8 across here. You see how we're just using the numbers that we get, and then there's just one more like this. It's kind of pattern on the way down. Then we'll use that 7 and get 7. As you see, it's quite nice and like kind of forcing you along in a particular way. I rather like it. This is a 4 here. 4 then blocking up here puts a 4 into that square. The last number here is a 3. 3 blocks down here. 3 goes there. We still need a 1. Ooh, 1, sorry, in that space. Then 1 blocking down here will give us a 1 into that square. We can finish today's game with a 9. So that's the observe. I'm gonna call it an idiom. It's like a cross between an easy and a medium. Somewhere on the upper edges of easy and the lower edges of medium. Perhaps that's why they don't like to grade their puzzles. Or maybe it's Amesi. Amesi, there, that sounds better than idiom, doesn't it? There we are, Amesi level. Okay, hopefully I'll be back later with some more Sudoku stuff at some time today. Bye-bye.